First incident in today's video. A young woman's mysterious death in a hotel with a dark past has left investigators and the public searching for answers. This is the haunting mystery of Elisa Lam. In January 2013, 21-year-old Canadian student Elisa Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. Known for its troubled history, the hotel had been the site of numerous crimes and unexplained events. Elisa was traveling alone, documenting her journey on social media. On January 31st, Elisa vanished. Her parents, alarmed by the lack of communication, contacted the authorities. A search ensued, but no trace of her was found. On February 13th, the LAPD released surveillance footage from one of the hotel's elevators, recorded on the day of Elisa's disappearance. The video showed Elisa behaving erratically, pressing multiple buttons, peering out of the elevator, stepping in and out, and making unusual gestures. The footage quickly went viral, sparking widespread speculation. Was she hiding from someone, experiencing a mental health crisis, or was there something more sinister at play? On February 19th, hotel guests complained about low water pressure and a strange taste in the water. Maintenance workers investigated the rooftop water tanks and discovered Elisa's body floating inside one of them. The circumstances were baffling. The rooftop was secured and the water tanks were difficult to access. How did Elisa end up there? The autopsy ruled Elisa's death as accidental drowning, with her bipolar disorder listed as a significant factor. However, the peculiarities of the case fueled numerous theories, ranging from foul play to supernatural involvement. Some pointed to the hotel's dark history, including its association with serial killers and unexplained deaths. Others believed Elisa's behavior in the elevator indicated possession or a paranormal encounter. The death of Elisa Lam remains one of the most disturbing and enigmatic cases of the 21st century. Whether a tragic accident or something more otherworldly, her story continues to haunt and intrigue. Second incident in today's video. In the heart of San Francisco, a mystery unfolded that still baffles both the public and the police. A man known by his neighbors as kind and harmless suddenly vanished, only to be found weeks later in the most gruesome way imaginable. This is the chilling, unsolved death of Brian Egg, and it's far darker than anyone expected. Brian Egg was 65 years old, a soft-spoken man, quiet but friendly. He lived in San Francisco's South of Market district, a changing neighborhood with a mix of artists, tech workers, and longtime residents like Brian. He didn't bother anyone. He wasn't rich, he wasn't flashy, and that's what makes what happened to him so disturbing. In the summer of 2018, neighbors began noticing something odd. They hadn't seen Brian in days. Then it turned into weeks. Strangers were suddenly coming in and out of his home. Cleaning crews were called. Furniture was being removed. Alarmed, neighbors called the police. Not once, but multiple times. But officers never entered the home. No signs of forced entry, no reports of a crime, so they left. And Brian, still nowhere to be found. It wasn't until weeks later, after one final call from a neighbor who saw a hazardous materials cleaning crew arrive at the house, that police finally forced entry. Inside the home, officers were hit by a foul smell. They searched the property, eventually making their way to the back of the house, and that's when they found it. A large fish tank filled with chemicals. Inside that tank was a human torso, headless and limbless. It was later confirmed through DNA this was Brian Egg. His body had been decomposing in chemicals for weeks. Someone had gone through great effort to cover up what had happened. Two men were quickly arrested, Lance Silva and Robert McCaffrey. Neither had a clean record. Silva, in fact, was caught using Brian's credit cards to buy a car. He also paid for the cleaning crew that was hired to scrub the crime scene. McCaffrey had been spotted coming and going from Brian's home multiple times. But despite all that, despite the body in the tank, purchases, the cover-up, neither man was charged with murder. Why? Because investigators couldn't prove exactly how Brian died or who did it. With no witnesses, no clear cause of death, and no direct evidence of a killing, the DA said the case wasn't strong enough. Brian's family was devastated. His brother called the whole thing a nightmare that never ends. Neighbors who had been calling police for weeks were outraged. How could this happen in a busy neighborhood? How could two men walk in, possibly kill someone, clean it up, and nearly get away with it? To this day, no one knows what actually happened inside that home. Was Brian killed for money? Did he invite the wrong people in? Or was it something even darker? A twisted plan that worked? Brian Egg's death is a tragic reminder of how even in the middle of a crowded city, the worst horrors can happen behind closed doors. Despite circumstantial evidence, no one has been convicted in his killing. The case remains open, but unless new witnesses come forward, it may never be solved. And the people who may know what happened, they're walking free. If you have any information about the death of Brian Egg, you can contact the San Francisco Police Department. Even the smallest detail could be the key to finally solving this disturbing mystery. Until next time, keep your doors locked, your eyes open, and remember, sometimes evil doesn't hide in the dark, it hides in plain sight.